When the world gets weird and the bills get thick, you call on Clint and you feature Dick. One talks numbers, the other talks slick. Two dads, one mic, yeah, this could stick. Clint's crunching figures straight to the point. Dick's just here to laugh in the joint. It's the Clinterific Show. Featuring Dick. Dick's quick with a joke. Clint's got the math. Together they'll balance your checkbook and your laugh. They'll talk finance, fun, and fatherly fails with liquidity dreams and 401k tales. So grab your coffee, join us a ticket, the Clinterific Show, featuring Dick.
And welcome back, everybody.
Hey.
After our New Year's / Christmas hiatus, I guess, because we haven't been back to recording since I think we recorded our last episode. We recorded it on the 23rd, and I had some computer issues over Christmas, and did not get the editing done until like the 27th or something like that. So
good times.
So yeah, this is 2 weeks. 2 weeks later, we're back. and gonna hit the ground running with some great New Year's tips. We've got an interesting segment for our. We're changing up some things with our flop or not segment because I didn't realize at how consistently we were picking things that were so obviously either not a flop or an extreme flop. So I'm thinking about changing it up, and we're going to try something different this week that I just kind of came up with on the fly, talking to Mr. Dick here. So, how's it going, Mr. Dick? Are you did you have a good New Year's and Christmas? And
I mean, it was good to have a little bit of time off from work. You know, I'm still work for the man, so I got like a day and a half for the eve and the day of for both Christmas and New Year's. But it's better than nothing.
Hey.
So, and I didn't have to hang around the house for 2 weeks straight getting driven crazy by my children like my wife was. So, silver linings. Silver linings.
No kidding. Yeah. The joys.
Otherwise, it was pretty good. Yeah.
The joys of being an educator. You get punished when it's when you have kids.
It's so true.
Yeah.
But she wanted this. So I don't feel sorry for her.
Yeah. You know what? You sign on for something. You gotta stick to it. So
it's fun too because I get to remind her of it, and I'll come home and she's just like, "Oh my goodness, they're so crazy," and I'm like, I look at her and I go, "Remember, you wanted this."
Yeah. You've met me. You should have known that half of my gene pool was going to get in there somewhere.
It was destined to be like this.
Yeah.
How was your holidays, by the way?
They were good. We kept things kind of.
Go anywhere?
No, we just stayed home, kept things low key. We went over to Tulsa to check out the. What did we even go over there for?
I mean, it'd have to be pretty important to go to Oklahoma.
Oh, it's that was what it was. Okay, so some friends of ours invited us to this. I don't know if you've ever heard of them or seen them. They're called slide parks. So, and it's not like, it's not like going to the local city park and going down a slide. These are like terrifying slides. So all of them, you get a little
a burlap sack.
No, it's not a burlap sack, but it's basically like a slide mat. You have to take it on all the slides. So it's about, if I had to guess, it's about 4 feet long, and it has handles on it so you can hold on to it. So
Okay.
I'm pushing 40 this year. My wife is also about to turn 40.
Good times.
You have to go down these things head first. Like, I don't know if it's because I have kids or if because my mindset has shifted on the let's maim ourselves. to go have a little bit of fun for an hour, because we were only there for an hour. So anyway, Anna, she goes down this thing, and it's probably, I'm estimating, I would say it's probably 20 feet up to the top of this. Okay. So like they've got like 15 different slides in this park. They all do different things. There's one that's got like a kind of a slant to it, so you go down and you slide up, and then you come back across and just go all the way down. But the problem is you're going pretty quick by the time you get to the bottom. My son was going down it. He's 5. He had a blast. He loved every second of it. Well, he goes down, and there was 4 full-grown adults close to my age going down before him, and which that's not out of the norm at this place. That's pretty standard practice, is everybody's going down the slide. So all 3 of them come down this thing so fast that it almost launched them out of the safe landing zone. And so I'm just sitting there laughing uncontrollably because I see 2 guys and then a lady that's she was older than me. I don't know if she was quite 50, but she was a little bit more advanced in her years, and like she just about did a barrel roll onto the concrete, which is
barrel roll.
Yeah. So anyway, the one that Anna goes down, it's this long ramp, and then it goes up like this, but it's not one of those ones where it's like a wide hump. It's a real narrow hump. So you go up, and you're like, it's designed to make you catch air. Every person that went down it caught air. And of course, Anna's got like a messed up shoulder from a car accident that she had when she was young. And so like she gets airborne and then slams down. Of course, you're laying down on your stomach going head first. So, she was done after the one time, and I was like, yeah, I'm not brave enough to maim my shoulders and disembowel myself to go down these slides for an hour. But the kids loved them, so yeah,
naturally the kids love it.
Yeah, so you ever get a chance
of these things?
You ever get a chance? Listen, it was like $30 a person. Pay for the kids. Don't go yourself. But don't go on the slides yourself. You can go in there. You just don't slide. Just go in there, hang out, watch the adults, and you'll get at least an hour of really good entertainment.
The problem is, like, I know my kids would be like, "Dad, you can do it with us, right? You can do it with us." I'm gonna be like, "Well, I'm only 23."
Yeah,
I'm not 23.
Yeah, exactly.
In my mind, I am.
Right. Yeah. My brain is 23, and my body is laughing at my brain.
before it pisses itself. In its
exactly.
pants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make sure you take a change of underwear, because you will need them.
Noted.
Whether it's for yourself or somebody else. Better safe than sorry.
Well, I can't say I plan to be in Oklahoma anytime soon.
Well, they have them all over the place. That was just the closest one to where we're at. We've been
That's the first time I've ever heard of this.
Yeah, well, I'd never heard of it either. Like, we've been to quite a few different trampoline parks. Those are pretty.
That I have.
Yeah, those are pretty common around here. Yeah. So we show up, and of course I had no idea what we were even going there to do, but yeah, it was a blast. The kids loved it, so you got to sign a waiver, which you got to sign a waiver for everything anymore.
Well, it says something there.
Yeah,
it says something.
Yeah. The only thing I noticed consistently was the landing area. Like, they've got a long cushion type thing at the bottom of every slide, and it seemed pretty consistent that they were not long enough. So I think they just needed like 6 more inches, which, who doesn't? But I like, seriously, if it was like 6, maybe a foot longer, it probably would have been plenty to keep kids from inches, just plowing head first into it.
About this long, right? This is about 6 inches, right?
Yeah, that's 6 inches. No, that's closer to a foot.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
That's
It's pretty average. Pretty
yeah.
average.
So
That's pretty
anyway,
average.
but yeah. So this week we're gonna do a different segment for our flop or not series. It's gonna be a little bit different, and then we've Mr. Dick has a really good. He's got something really deep for us to go get down on this week, and then
Yeah, we got some deep stuff to go over.
yeah, and then we're gonna do five tips to make your 2026 year way more financially successful. So yeah, that's the way we're going. So
let's get into that.
Speaking of segues, we're gonna dive right into the 5 tips. So I was trying to put together some things that if you were to only do 5 things going into your 2026 that could make the most impact for you from a financial perspective, what would those 5 things be? And I bounced around a few ideas, and the 5 that I landed on, they're not going to make. It's not just one thing that's going to make an enormous difference in your financial well-being and understanding and things like that. But the thing is if you do these things correctly, especially when you're trying to reevaluate where you're at the beginning of the year, what it does is it will give you multiplicative returns. So you may not get a ton day one, but it's going to make up for it over the year, which is really what you're looking for when you're saying, hey, you know what? I'm trying to do things better this year. How am I going to do that?
Playing the long game.
Exactly. Yep. So, point number 1 is to, and this one's the hardest for a lot of people. Get honest before you get organized. So, a lot of people say, okay, it's 2026. I'm going to go in and I'm going to start budgeting. I've got my New Year's resolution. I'm going to start losing weight, or I'm going to, save up and invest 15% of my income this year, or do this or do that. And the reality is they have not done enough to take a step back and say, okay, where are my biggest opportunities for improvement? So one of the biggest things it's very important for you to focus on, and this is the best way to describe it. You don't need a better plan. You need to clean your mirror. Okay? So I know that sounds weird, but that was kind of the best way that I could come up with to say this. So think of this from a perspective of when you're planning financially, a lot of people are going into it blind to where the problem actually is, because they don't stop and say, okay, I'm going to look at where my problems are.
Yep.
If you can't stop yourself and go look at, I'm going to take my credit card and my bank statement for the last 3 months, whatever your financial situation is, go for the last 3 months. Evaluate what you're spending. Find out, oh, hey, you know what? I spent $1,200 average a month on eating out in the last 3 months. That's insane, which, who's not spending that right now? It's like, from a food perspective, food is just, if you're dining out in any kind of consistency, it's ridiculous how much money you're spending on food. And I mean, I'll be the first to admit I'm guilty of that one myself.
I spent almost $50 on a steak at Outback.
Yeah, it's
New Year's Eve.
Yeah, it's ridiculous how expensive. I mean, there I saw a video on, I think it was on YouTube. It was a guy. It was some kind of news anchor. I don't remember what organization it was with, but he was talking about this new study, data set, whatever they want to call it, that said Americans don't like pizza anymore because the top 5 pizza places in the United States, like as far as like quick pizza, Pizza Hut, Papa John's, Domino's, Little Caesar, stuff like that, have all had a significant drop in sales over the last 6 months.
Yeah, but how much have they raised their prices in the last 6 months?
Which is exactly what my thought process was. It was immediately, this guy is a moron. Because it's not that Americans don't want to pay for pizza anymore. But here's the reality of the situation. If I go to Pizza Hut,
you get pizzas because you don't have to like
break the bank to pay for it. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So if I go to Pizza Hut, I'm going to pay $25 for a Supreme Meat Lovers pizza. Okay, that's pretty steep. Or I can go to a good, like, brick oven pizza place and pay $30 for for that kind of a pizza. The pizza's going to be so much better, it's not even funny.
Yeah.
I mean, 9 times out of 10 right now, if you go somewhere like Pizza Hut or Domino's or somewhere like that, the pizza's either not done or it's burnt to a crisp. So it's like, okay, I'm paying $25 for a pizza that's very subpar, or I'm paying $30 for a good pizza. And it's, you can find good ones.
You could pay even less to go to your local food mart and get a frozen one.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. So we went to Aldi and got some groceries the other day. I walk in the door, and right there on the right, as I walk in, they've got like the produce and a couple of those specialty refrigerated items and stuff like that. Huge pizza. $5. It was enough for our whole family to eat. And I mean, I can put away some pizza. I like pizza. I can put away some pizza. And it was enough for us to all eat some happily. Yeah. And there was still probably a third of the pizza left.
Jeez.
It was that big of a pizza. I think it was like a 16-inch across or 18-inch. It was bigger than my I have like one of those pizza stones that I cook my pizza on when I put it in the oven, and it was bigger than the pizza stone.
Wow.
By a significant, like it was hanging on the on the entire outside rim by a good 6 inches.
That's pretty average.
But it was also a really good pizza. I mean, it wasn't like, breathtaking or anything like that. It's a store-bought pizza. I'm not expecting it to be amazing, but it was. I would have given it probably a solid 7.5, 8 out of 10, which is what I would give any Pizza Hut or Domino's pizza.
That's generous.
At least any kind of consistency. Like if I go to Pizza Hut and they make a good pizza, they don't burn it, or Papa John's or whatever. Yeah, I'll give it like a 7 and 8. Yeah, it's good enough that I would want to get it again. But, so that's the thing. It's like, okay, $25, $5. It's
right, and right, and that's just a microcosm too, because like
exactly
that's the kind of thing that's happening across the board with not just groceries, but just like anything. Like, people are looking at their checkbooks, and we don't have the disposable income like we used to, and things are more expensive, so people are tightening their
the purse strings. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
And you know what? This is probably an unpopular opinion, but I think people getting into the habit of doing that is not a bad thing.
Yep.
I won't say that it's a good thing that we have to do it. I think that people creating that habit is not a bad thing.
Yes.
To just
be
more judicious with what you spend your disposable income on.
Exactly. So. Yep. So 3 bullet points to kind of keep in mind with this. Don't budget yet. You're not at a point where you're budgeting. This is really about review. Look at where you've been so you don't end up there again at the end of 2026. Point number 2, look at the last 3 months, evaluate it. Was there any kind of inconsistencies in there? Okay, if there are, remove them if you can. Or don't account for them from a budget perspective. And then question number 3, is really just ask yourself, is this aligned with the lifestyle that I want? Am I setting aside money for the future? Am I investing in myself? Am I investing in skills, in, stock market, in, assets, things like that? Once you do those three things, that puts you in a much better place to be able to set up something like a budget for yourself, because you actually know what you're budgeting for, rather than just saying, yeah, I only want to spend this much on this and this much on this and this much on this. Well, how much did you actually spend? If you don't know, you're fighting a losing battle. You're coming in it, blindfolded. So look at where you've been so you don't end up there again. And that brings us to point number 2. After you've done all of this evaluating, you have one goal, and that's to kill one financial leak. Just one. You don't have to kill all of them. You just have to kill one. Because what that's going to do is that's going to allow you to make a habit of it. Once you get done with one, then you can work on one more. That's one of the biggest problems that a lot of people have from a financial perspective. They're like, they go back and if they do any of this, what did I do the last 3 months or the last year or whatever, then they go in and say, okay, well, I did this and this and this and this and this and that. I've got 9 different things that I need to cut out of my budget. I'm getting rid of all of them. And then they end that and then go back and pick them up again because they realize they cut off something that they shouldn't have cut off. So you're much better off fixing one problem, making sure that it's the problem worth fixing. Let's use car insurance. That's an easy thing to assess. If you're paying, I'm just going to say you've got two vehicles, you're paying $500 a month on car insurance. You need to look for better car insurance, because I guarantee you can find it better than $500 a month, unless you're the worst driver on the planet, which if you are, find another leak. Let's be real about who we are as people. If you can't drive, I get it. We've all got our strengths and we've all got our weaknesses. I'm not good at public speaking, but
I can drive a car.
Exactly. Yeah. So just pick one recurring expense that you can do without and is a leak. Get rid of it, and that's going to create momentum for you, because that's let's say that you're paying for 16 different subscription services that's totaling up to $250 a month. Okay, cut that in half. Can you really watch 16 different streaming services at the same time? No.
I don't even watch one.
If you're unemployed, you still don't have enough time to watch 16 different streaming services. And obviously I'm exaggerating a little bit. I don't even know if there probably is 16 different streaming services. But the reality is, you cut that in half, you have literally saved yourself $125 per month. That's a lot of money. That's going to add up very quickly. You invest that for 20 years, you're going to have a lot of money. So just keep that in mind. So yeah, just, find one financial leak, fix it, and the one cut you actually make is going to be better than 10 cuts that you've talked about making and don't actually do.
Or that you end up going back on.
Exactly. And that actually ties in very well to number 3, which is 3 and 4 are kind of both sides of the same coin. So number 3 is, when you're doing financial evaluation, you need to make resistance for yourself where you're weak. So I'm going to use myself as an example. I know that I have a tendency to go out to eat way too frequently. So if that's the problem, make some kind of system, whatever that looks like for you, that you have to create an obstacle for yourself in order to go do that. Whether that's, okay, I am going to open up a credit card that has a $250 balance, and that is the only amount of money that I'm allowed to spend on dining out per month, once that card is maxed out, I can't eat out anymore. So that way you have taken steps proactively ahead of time to create a wall of resistance that it's going to be difficult for you to get past. As long as, I mean, obviously it's not going to be impossible, but it's not about making it impossible. It's about making resistance to incentivize yourself to have a good behavior. And on top of that, what you can also do is, I'm a firm believer in positive and negative reinforcement. So you kind of sandwich it and ram it from both ends.
Sides.
Exactly.
Gotta get that flanking.
Exactly.
More successful that way.
Exactly. So if you want to incentivize yourself, make an incentive plan that is contrary to this bad behavior. So if you say, okay, if I don't exceed $250 for the next 6 months in dining out expense, then I get to go on a cruise because I've saved $5,000 on dining out. Something like that.
It goes all that money.
Exactly. But like I said, create resistance and to an extent create incentives on the other end, so you've got it, covered from both ends. So, and this is really just something to kind of keep in mind, and it rings very true. If your money flows too easily, then it'll flow right out of your pocket. So, at least put a dam in front of it.
I mean, damn, my money started flowing out of my pocket when I got married, and it ain't stopped.
Listen, like as a man that is married, and I'm sure that there's a lot of other men out there in the same boat. The reality is, the women do need to spend money on some stuff. Because let's be honest, we would be happy sitting in largely our own filth if that was what it came down to. So, but ladies out there, keep in mind that we're just trying to make sure that the lights stay on and you actually have a house to put all that crap from Amazon into, So, just kind of keep that in mind. Let's work together on this.
Come together.
So yeah, that pulls us into tip number 4, and this one's actually one of the, if there was just one on this that I would say is the most important, I would say this is probably the contender. So number 4 is to automate good behaviors. So if you're trying to rely on your own willpower to do something, it's going to be a lot more difficult when you're in the thick of making that decision. Whereas when you get rid of that dopamine hit and just take a step back and say, okay, look, I don't care what future me wants at 9:00 at night, or what what I want for lunch tomorrow. Yeah. I want to automate this behavior. So if this behavior is, I want to set aside $50 every paycheck for investments. You create a literal automatic transaction. I mean, and even if it's something as simple as just putting it into an index fund, I'm going to create an E-Trade account or something like that and say, okay, I am automating this behavior. Every paycheck, I don't care what, my bills are covered and I have this much disposable income, but that $50 per paycheck is going into my E-Trade account, into an investment account, into this, into that, whatever. And that's automated behavior. We used to use this app called Acorns. I think I have talked about it a little bit on here in the past, but it's another one of those automating things. You don't think about how fast something like that accumulates money, but it really does add up quick. And it's great from a perspective of you don't even think about it. It just happens. It's a set it and forget it kind of thing. Let it accumulate for you. So just kind of keep in mind that automating a behavior, especially when it's a good behavior, is going to pay enormous amounts of dividends down the road. And willpower is a terrible, horrible, long-term financial strategy. You've got to have willpower of stone for that to be a good plan. And let's be honest, most of us don't have that. So, yeah. Coming into number 5, which this one's kind of a all-encompassing. Let's look at what we want for 25 or 2026. I can't believe that it's 2026 because I don't want to believe that I'm going to be 40 this year, but it is what it is. Yeah. So really, what it is about is defining what is enough for 2026. So, what is your income goal? Something that a lot of people have to keep in mind from I want to start making more money perspective. There is always going to be trade-offs and sacrifices depending on what you're looking for from a success perspective. So, if you value sleep, excessive amounts of sleep, kids are probably not in the cards for you. If you like not having to deal with stress in any capacity, I wouldn't recommend starting your own business because the reality is starting a business, starting a side hustle, whatever that looks like, there's going to be stress. It's going to hit you like a truck sometimes. And if you can't handle that, that's not in the cards for you. And that's okay. Just, this is about being real with ourselves. Yeah. You can't pretend you're something else and be angry that you're not that.
Ooh, man, that's a good. That I'm going to talk about that in my going deep section. There's a lot of crossover here.
Oh, well, that was unintentional.
Was it though?
Yes,
no, it was, yeah.
yes and no.
Some principles are just universal.
The reality is if you don't actually define what enough looks like, then you're always going to feel like you're behind. Let's set some achievable goals for ourselves and feel good about the small wins because if you set one small goal every day, then you've got 365 goals or 365 wins at the end of the year. And that's a pretty good year. So,
Ravens says, just make your bed every day.
Exactly.
Start with the little things.
Yeah. Or get out of your bed every day,
I mean, that kind of you kind of have to do that first if you're going to make it
if you can make your bed while you're in it, then you can have your cake and eat it too. Yeah, it would. I would like to see that. If you're capable of doing that, why don't you fondle that comment button down below and tell us how you're able to accomplish that? Because that is an incredible feat of strength, or strength of
comments,
or strength of feet.
Tickle us, subscribe for us.
Grope the subscribe button,
and then
diddle the like button.
Diddle.
Hey, diddle, the cat and the fiddle. The cow got ran over by a spoon.
What about?
I don't know a lot about nursery rhymes. So just to give a brief recap, the 5 tips. Number 1, be honest with yourself before you start doing any budgeting. Let's get a real idea about where you're at. Number 2, Just kill one financial leak. Just one. Just one. I mean, if you want to go real crazy, go with 2, but let's start with 1. And then number 3, add friction where you're weak. Number 4, automate good behaviors. Make it easy for yourself to make good decisions.
Yeah.
And then number 5, define what is enough for you for 2026. That you do those 5 things, and I guarantee you'll have a better 2026 than you had in 2025. Even though you can't have a 2026 in 2025, because anyway. So, speaking of money, we're gonna so this week our flop or not segment is evolving into how much do you think this crazy thing made?
That's good because like you were saying, it's like, man, was the Star Wars original trilogy successful or not? It's like,
yeah,
yes,
yes, yeah. The first trilogy and the second trilogy, very very successful trilogies.
Yeah,
like
obviously,
yeah. I mean, to sell that's one of those things. Like, if I was to ever be able to sell something for $4 billion, people just cannot wrap their head around how much money that actually is. I mean, I don't know.
Oh, no.
I don't know if you know any like wealthy people. I know a handful of people that are very very well off, and I see the things that they do and how much money they spend, and I'm like, man, how do you quantify somebody that is literally 1,000 times more wealthy than this person, who is literally 1,000 times more wealthy than me?
right?
You know.
Well, there's a really great comedy sketch by a comedian called Gary Goldman. I remember this was making the rounds like several years ago, and he talks about the found 20.
Oh,
like,
yes.
For us, like normal average people, like finding a 20 is like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I've got an extra $20. Like,
yes.
I can go to Chipotle and afford to buy the guac.
Why don't you let me worry about my finances?
Exactly.
You know that's extra, right? Yes.
Yeah.
I know.
Yes. I know.
What about me makes you think I can't afford the upcharge?
Well, it's law. It's law. Like they have to.
Oh man.
Anyway, so in that sketch, he goes through the whole found 20, and I think most people, 99% of people can relate to that idea.
Oh yeah. Like, I feel great. I found $20
right
on the sidewalk.
And then he had to go and make everyone feel stupid poor, because then he said for Bill Gates to have that same feeling, and I think at the time, like, Gates was worth over $20 billion, right?
Yeah.
He said for Bill Gates to have that same effect of the found 20, he would need a forklift.
Oh yes.
To lift his jacket that has an entire pallet of $100 bills on it.
Yeah. What was it, $20 million?
Something like that. And
yeah.
I was like, holy crap. Like,
yeah.
What?
Yeah, because $5 is roughly 0.02% of net worth of most individuals. So his net, I think I remember hearing that. That was a long time ago. That actually reminds me of a funny sketch. Yeah, I do vaguely remember hearing that, because Gary Goldman is so funny. But I vaguely remember hearing that because I think that got popular right when me and Anna met, and she had a shirt made for me. That says, it says, I know that guacamole's extra, which Chipotle is my favorite restaurant. Y'all, if Chipotle, if you want to if you want to sponsor this channel, I'm good. I'm good with a gift card. I love Chipotle. And
you killed it, Clint, because you told me you already love it. Like you need them to buy.
You want to buy my love? Okay, well you've already bought it. I'm a dirty slut for Chipotle.
All right. Calm down.
So this is this is a funny story. So I go to a Chipotle. We went down to Florida, it was about this. I think it was like a year and a half into me and Anna dating. But we go down to Florida where we go. There was a Chipotle in a shopping center that we went to. So I go in the Chipotle. I have my Chipotle shirt on. It's not like it literally. It is literally the shirt I wear to Chipotle because I prepare for it. And it literally says across the chest, it says, "I know guacamole is extra." I walk in there. Every person that works there literally reads it and laughs because they know what I'm talking about. And I get to the, because guacamole is at the very end of the line. Yeah. I get to that, and the guy literally looks at my shirt. He reads it. He laughs. He said, "That's a funny shirt." And I said, "I want guacamole." And he goes, "That's extra, right?" and I was like... I kind of stopped for a second, and you could tell it was like he'd just rehearsed it so much that it was just second nature. And he caught himself, like, as soon as he finished his sentence, he was like, "That's extra, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's just like, "Well, duh." Oh, it was so funny. Yeah, so, oh, man. And then, of course, I walk out, and I get like 7 other people that complimented my shirt. But that's like my favorite shirt that I have is just because of that story. Because the guy, like, he literally read the shirt, laughed, and then immediately was like, "Guacamole's extra," right? I was like, "Man, your retention is horrible."
Yeah, it's the power of habit. That's what it is, though. It's the power of habit.
Yeah. Oh man.
But right, so where were we?
So anyway. Gary Goldman. Yeah, off in the weeds. We're going back to where we were going to go. So today we're going to talk about the Dragon Ball franchise. So Mr. Dick here just told me that he's watching it for the first time, which I am a huge proponent of the anime genre. I love anime. I watch all kinds of different anime. And I've had plenty of conversations with Dick here about anime and different ones that we've watched. I've got a huge list of just great writing, excellent, character development. There's and comedy that you can't get in any other vein of entertainment. It's just not there. When somebody does something and they turn into a ghost, that just, Ricky, you know what I'm talking about. Like anybody that's ever watched anime, the ghost or the nosebleed, just fountain of blood coming out of somebody's nose, or it's just these things that develop.
It's hyperbole.
Yes, and it's so well written and just
some are.
Well, yes. There are dumpster fires in anime, 100%. I have watched them. I have watched a lot of different anime, and there are some that I'm just like, I don't understand how anybody could possibly want to watch this, much less multiple times. But Dragon Ball is arguably the biggest. I believe it's the biggest anime. I'm not positive on that. I'll do some research on it and bring that information.
That's a good question, though. It definitely has a lot of cultural reach, and that's one of the reasons why I started watching it, because it just constantly would appear in my algorithm feed.
Yeah,
just seeing clips and everything. It's like I have an idea. Of what the whole arc and story is about, but it's like this is in the zeitgeist, and I felt like I kind of should know a little more about it. So I started from the beginning, from the
from the original Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I'm still watching through that. That
one's harder to stomach.
It's been tough.
It's kids.
I mean, like late 80s, early 90s anime, and it shows.
Oh yeah,
but I've got
for sure.
I've got that, and then DBZ, and then GT on the tab.
Yeah.
And I was doing a little bit of research, trying not to spoil things too much, but I'm gonna have to get. I'm gonna have to find Dragon Ball Super too, so I can watch that.
It
seems like it's.
I'm fairly positive that Super is on Hulu.
I'll have to look. Last time, see, I was watching Dragon Ball on Hulu, the original one,
Yep.
for a while, and then I had a little bit of a hiatus from watching it, and when I went to pick it up again, I could not find it.
Yeah, they only do some of those for very short stints of time.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So I found an alternate means of acquiring the viewing ability of this property, of which I will not be specific. Arr.
Yeah. Don't tell on us, all 5 viewers. But yeah, no. So Dragon Ball, I've watched. I don't know if I've seen every episode. I know I've watched a lot of them. The original Dragon Ball is it's. I was older when it even became available for me to watch because, I was probably in my mid-20s before I even had it like to where I could find it somewhere to watch at all. So in the original, Goku's a little kid. He's 10 years old, if not younger than that. Do what?
I thought he was 13.
Oh, he might be. I couldn't remember exactly how old he was.
Like a little kid, though.
Yeah, exactly.
They play that out.
Right. So, anyway, whether it is the biggest anime in the world, I know it was an enormous cultural influence in the United States that allowed anime to become so relevant in the United States. Because, I mean, I remember even just some of my buddies saying, "Oh, did you see Dragon Ball Z this weekend? It came on, one of the TV stations, whatever." And for the longest time, that was the only thing that, I didn't even know really what anime meant. I just knew Dragon Ball was that, and it was awesome. So
it's just a cartoon to us. It's just cartoon.
Exactly.
The idea of anime.
Exactly.
Something that came about in our early 20s.
Right. Exactly. So what I did was I tried to get an idea about how much that franchise has actually generated since its advent in the 80s.
Holy crap.
So
because it's a manga, it's an anime,
right?
Several different anime shows, movies, video games, and then all the merchandising.
Yeah. So I was not able to get a full breakdown of all of the individual components of what it is. I was able to get some. So, do they have any idea what the valuation of the IP is? So,
or is that what you were trying to find?
I was able to find the value in US dollars of what the total lifetime revenue of that franchise has been. And when I looked it up, I was shocked. So we talked about Star Wars, I think it was in our last episode, and how much...
no, it's the one before that.
Was it? Okay. Oh, that's right. So yeah, George Lucas sells Star Wars for $4 billion.
Jeez.
Yeah, so he cleaned up on that.
That's probably cheap, too, considering.
Yeah. Yep. So, so I looked at these numbers and I was like, okay, it's more than I expected. I don't know if I would say it's much more. So I want you to take a wild guess how much you think this franchise has made in total since it started. Now this is total revenue. We've got the merchandising and all that stuff. You've got there's been 15 or 20 video games that have been released. The movies, the shows, all of that stuff. The mangas, all that stuff.
Does this count the live action movie?
I think it does. Which I don't think it's. I'll put it this way: even if it does, it
brings down the value.
Yeah. It honestly, they're taking a hit there, which just made me so mad Like just
I haven't
just
seen it.
oh
I'm
my!
not
Well,
surprised it was garbage.
after you watch all like 700 episodes of the Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball GT and Dragon Ball Super, then
All the
go watch
movies.
that movie and you'll be as mad as I am right now about that garbage Dragon Ball Evolution. Just took a big steaming dump on anything that was amazing about Dragon Ball. But yeah, anyway, so take a guess. Just take a whack at how much you think this IP has generated since its advent in the 80s, I believe.
So are we talking about like globally or just within North America?
Globally, total.
Globally, okay,
Yes.
okay, and we're combining manga,
Everything.
anime, movies,
Anything that they could possibly make money on.
Jeez, man. All right, so a wild guess. I know we just talked about George Lucas selling
Yep.
Star Wars for $4 billion.
Yep.
So my mind's in the billions. Am I in the billions?
I don't want to give you any hints. I want you to think about it and just see if you can get anywhere close.
Gosh, feels like it's got to be a ridiculous amount. It's a ridiculous amount.
It is. It is a ridiculous amount of money. But then again, so is $4 billion. $4 billion for Star Wars is a ridiculous amount of... I mean, like, I get it. Like, you know, the movies generated that much.
Right. To me, like, being a poor schmuck, like, $100 million is a ridiculous amount of
Right,
money.
exactly. So it is a ridiculous amount of money.
I'm going to guess... oh, gosh, I don't know. I'm going to be low. I want to be conservative because I feel like if I go into the billions, like, that just doesn't... But, okay. Okay.
I'll give you one hint. You will be surprised.
Okay. I'm going to say... No, it's got to be more than that. It's got to be like 10 billion.
So you're closer than you think. So all of the industry sources place Dragon Ball's lifetime revenue between 27 and 30 billion dollars.
27 and 30?
Yes.
What the?
Yeah. I when I looked at that number, I was like, that is insane. I had no idea that it was actually that high. But yeah, so all the estimates I've seen that's what it puts at closest. So this is 24-25's fiscal year because I guess the company that owns the IP, which it was originally created by Akira Toriyama.
Yes.
Which, I mean, he's responsible for some huge IPs beyond that. I mean, and the Dragon Quest series, he is the art designer for that whole series. So he did all of those. The Chrono Trigger, arguably the best RPG that's ever been made.
I know that's your opinion.
You haven't even played it, so how can you say that?
I have to. No, I have
Have
to.
you?
I played it. Yes.
Oh, come on.
Yes. Remember when we did the summer RPG playlist?
Oh, that's right. I forgot about. I didn't think we made it to Chrono Trigger.
I did. I played it.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know you played it. Well,
it was the rest of you chumps that didn't hardly play anything.
Well,
I played quite
no,
a few.
I played all the stuff that we started talking about. And everybody else was the ones that fizzled out. I think I could probably still find my notes on it. I think I have them on my computer. But anyway, so in the 24-25 fiscal year, the franchise generated $1.3 billion in revenue for Bandai Namco.
Gosh, wow.
That's 1 year. The video game earnings for this franchise just the video games have generated over $10 billion in sales. I was surprised by that number.
I'm sorry, the video game?
The video games. I was actually surprised by that number. Now, there's been a lot of video games that did not get released over in the United States.
Okay.
So they were making significant amounts of money overseas, and all of this money is converted into U.S. dollars. Because I believe, this says it's 190.6 billion yen, which is roughly $1.3 billion. The mobile games have generated 140 million by themselves. And I think there's only like 3 of them. But still, I mean, there's a lot of money. Dragon Ball is consistently top ranked among all anime merchandise sellers. Every year, consistently. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. I was pretty shocked to find out that Dragon Ball is worth way more than Star Wars.
like for 6 to 7 times.
Yeah. Well, and so because
it's like 6 7 times. Wow.
Because we did. Let me see if I can pull my notes up. Okay, so total money that they made, in Lucasfilms. Let's see. I'm trying to pull my notes up because I had. I think the number was around 10 billion that they've made since buying it through all of the different valuations and things like that, because the numbers that we looked at, I mean, you take the movies and ticket sales for the theme parks and all that stuff. I think total revenue was about 10 billion that has been made by Disney since that purchase. And I don't know, I would have to go look what the specifics were from George Lucas, like how much he made on the actual the original 2 trilogies. I would assume that the money would have to be pretty close to, which, obviously merchandising is a huge portion of that profit as well. Plus, like video games and stuff like that. That's the part where it's crazy, because you build such a following about these, these huge IPs, and like people want they want the shirt, they want the toy, they want the video game, So it makes sense. But yeah, no, when I read that, I was like, I cannot believe that, based on even the best numbers that I was able to find and put together for Star Wars, that Dragon Ball is worth almost 3 times that. Now, keep in mind that this IP is probably about 40 years old at this point, because it started in the 80s. So it's, but then again, so Star Wars, Star Wars is pushing
late 70s.
So 50 years old. So Star Wars is actually older. So yeah, it's even more surprising that it's a 40-year IP. That's worth, which obviously that's not what it's actually worth. That's total sales over the course of 40 years, but still, like it's still a significant amount of money. So yeah, I was pretty shocked when I read that.
Over $1 billion in 1 year.
Oh yeah. That's just which I'll have to do. I'll do some research and see if I can figure out, because I don't know if Bandai Namco owns all of it now, or if that's just the money that was generated for them in that regard. Actually, I can probably find out. Okay, so no, it's the largest commercial rights holder. So they own a significant amount of it, but not all of it. They don't even own the anime rights. So that's just from, I would say that's probably largely from video game sales last year.
Right. Yeah.
Because there was like 3 video games that have come out very recently that did incredibly well. That are in that are Dragon Ball games. Dragon Ball Fighters, I think, was one of them, and then
like a Mortal Kombat or
Street Fighter kind of game. Yeah. A lot of the games are fighting games, but there was another one called Dragon Ball.
Why.
Yeah, shocker.
That's a weird thing.
Yeah, but there is another one that's I think it's called Dragon Ball Kakarot or something like that, and it's kind of like a action RPG kind of game. So, but I know that one did pretty well as well. So yeah, Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball, the whole franchise, so much money. So yeah. That's our segment for the week. So let us know what you think, because we're trying to evolve this segment a little bit, because the flop or not seemed to be consistently landing on ones that were so obvious whether it was a flop or not.
Yeah, it's kind of a flaccid segment, if you're honest.
Yep. No girth.
Speaking of, you ready to go deep?
I am. I was born ready.
Oh, I know you were.
I was born ready yesterday.
Oh.
Wait a minute.
Speaking of. So, I like how we basically we didn't like collaborate on this ahead of time this week, because like we've been really busy.
Oh yeah,
in our own, like personal lives. So I've been working on like my list, and obviously Clint worked on his list, and I was listening to it, I was like, oh, there's a lot of crossover here. So I've got the top 5 do's and don'ts for New Year's. And we're specifically talking about resolutions. Now, I know that's a really popular thing this time of year, and I'm sure at least 30% of our listeners, so like 1 or 2, made resolutions.
Let me do some quick math. 2.
I looked up some statistics about resolutions.
Actually, based on the last episode, it's 1.2.
My personal account accounts for one of those views. By the way,
well, mine doesn't yet, so I need to go in there and boost our numbers by a good 30%.
Boost our numbers.
Oh man,
we need it. Anyway, so I found out, and I did some research. Read a few articles. One from Pew Research. One from, gosh, what were the other ones? A couple others. Like statistic and like survey companies. They apparently have been doing polls on what people do with resolutions. So
I got on a poll once.
It
was not pretty.
No, that wouldn't be pretty, especially if you don't wipe. Only 30% of U.S. adults.
Yeah, there was a brown streak just all the way down.
Oh man!
Oh wait, wipe the poll. Wait.
Warbo.
Anyway, I digress.
So 30% of U.S. adults make resolutions every year. Yep, 30%. And about, I would say, like, what was it? The 18 to 34 demographic is like by far the largest demographic that actually does make these resolutions. In fact, statistically, the older you get, less likely, and like the 55 plus category is like 3 times less likely.
What's your resolution this year? Not die.
Basically.
Yeah, I don't want to tell anybody what my resolution is.
I mean, it's like, what's your resolution this year, Grandpa? The 3 S's every day. What's that? Shit, shower, and change.
Yeah.
That's all I want.
I didn't sit on my balls this morning, so
So it's been a good day.
yeah. Chalk that up to the win.
Right.
365 wins this year.
So, all right. So, I found out there are several different main categories that people make resolutions in, but about 80% of those resolutions are some kind of health or fitness related, and that makes
Okay.
up the largest category by far.
Yeah.
The finances one is also really high. I think it was like second or third. So it's a good thing we
Interesting.
talked about that earlier. Yeah.
Okay.
No. Only about 9% of people keep these resolutions for a whole year.
Wow. I wish I could say that
23
surprises me, but it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. 23% quit by the end of the first week of January.
Wow.
So, right. So as we get here into the end of the second week, not full week, but into the second week of January, which if you didn't know, and I found this out while I was doing this research, the second Friday of every month is known as Quitter's Day.
Huh. Why don't we
So-
get a national holiday for that? Huh?
It would be nice. Actually, no, that wouldn't be a good thing.
Are you listening, President Trump? New holiday. Let's
I mean,
let's
they may-
round that 7 out to an 8 in federal holidays.
I mean, they made Juneteenth a holiday, so
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah. Why don't we celebrate quitting?
Because we ain't quitters, because we're Americans. Cool. This is
Yeah.
getting political quick, and I don't like it. Anyway, so in honor of the upcoming Quitters Day this week, I have compiled my top 5 do's and don'ts for New Year's resolutions. So I
Wait, so you have
it's
10?
I have 5.
Oh, okay.
And I have a do.
They're a do
and
or a
for
don't.
each.
Okay.
Well, they're both. Like it's like don't do
Oh,
this.
okay.
Do this.
Do this instead. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay, so number 5. Don't
Number
get
5.
sucked into trends. Trends like this is one of the worst things you can do, right?
Yep.
It's just like I see
You don't want to
everybody
be
else doing
hashtag
it.
trending.
Right, exactly. I see everybody else doing it. It's I'll do it too because it looks cool. Peer pressure is not a good way to make a resolution. Of the 30% of people that made those resolutions, 60% often feel pressured. And we can look back, only 9% of people who make resolutions follow through the whole year. So that 60% that was pressured into it is like, this ain't working for me. And this is where I was surprised at our overlap. So my do is find something that you want to do or change that reflects you. So you got to take a look at you and say, what do I want to change about me or my habits? Doesn't matter what everybody else is doing,
Yeah.
right? Like everybody else is doing this thing, like, okay, that works for them, but I'm not them, right? I'm not them. I need to find out what it is in my life that needs to change and focus on that. You got to make it personal, right? You got to make
Yep.
it personal to you. If you're looking externally, it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing.
Yeah.
So, with that being said as well, I think that you make it personal. You're going to be more invested in it because it's directly affecting you, and you're also not trying to go against the grain of kind of like who you are, and like talking about how like 80% of resolutions are usually fitness related. Like it's really easy to get on Instagram or on TikTok and look at all these 23-year-old 0.5% body weight vegan guys on there and go, oh man, they look so good.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
not only is it not healthy, really,
Yeah.
but it may not be possible.
You know what the
for
key
your
is?
body.
The key is to look in their eyes and see how dead they are. I haven't had a carb in 17 years. Well, you're not happy, are you?
No, you're not.
Yeah.
And, for a long time,
I had a
thought
cheeseburger for lunch and I feel pretty good.
Right, exactly. It's like we flagellate ourselves on this issue so much.
Yeah.
And like I wanted to be skinny. I thought I wanted to be skinny for a long time. And then I realized that I was actively like trying to swim uphill against the current of a river, basically trying to do this thing that my body was like, this is not really. So you
Is
lean
it is
into
it
what,
worth it? Yeah.
yeah, lean
Yeah.
into what it is that your body or that you're kind of like, more, what's the word I'm looking for? Something that fits you best,
Passionate about?
not just passionate, but like literally metabolically speaking, like everybody's different. Some people are going to carry naturally a little bit more of a fat percentage than others. And so it's not like you need to make that health and fitness thing more holistic than just like what that one number is. Because like I used to want to look wanted that like shredded look, like, freaking Marvel actors have totally ruined it, right? Especially for guys. It used to
Yeah.
be, back in the day when we were kids, the action movie stars,
Yeah.
or even like earlier than that, like they weren't like these super shredded, roided up, muscle bound, jocks. And now it's like, everyone looks at guys like Chris Hemsworth and what he was able to do for the Thor movies, and it's like you got to remember, this guy is paid to look
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
You are not. You're
Yeah.
not, and you can't afford his diet or his exercise routine. And if you ever talk to any of these actors about what they have to go through to achieve that, I heard an interview from Henry Cavill, and he was doing his prep for the first Superman movie, Man of Steel.
Oh yeah.
He said he said he was depressed getting ready for it because he worked out like 3 or 4 times a day and ate an
Ugh.
insane amount of
Yeah.
calories. He was literally all he was doing was lifting weights and eating, and he said it sucked.
Yeah. Yep.
So, like, you want to look like Henry Cavill? Do you have the discipline to be able
Yeah.
to do
Yeah,
that?
it's a complete lifestyle, and you got to have like the reality is they also have somebody cooking very specific
Right.
meal plans for them most of the time, and even between when they're not doing the scenes, they have a very very strict diet that they follow.
Yep.
Now they're getting
Diet.
paid a boatload of money to do
Oh
it,
yeah.
but yeah,
Compensated for it. And like the other things that we don't see, and I know some of these things just because like I like to lift weights a lot, and I'm somewhat familiar with kind of the bodybuilding world and what they have to do. And you don't see it, but like in between scenes that they shoot, like we see a movie, and you think that they always look like they do on screen,
yeah,
even if they've achieved this body, in preparation for the
it's
movie,
for one
like
scene.
it is for one scene,
Yeah,
and they have
yeah,
to do certain things to get them to look like that. Like if you ever watch the movie, the first 300 movie, and you look at some of the behind the scenes extras, in between shots, the actors were lifting weights to get a pump into their
yeah,
biceps so they look better for the next take.
yeah, which is
And that's
crazy.
right. You're not going to do that. It,
Yeah.
if you look at if you've ever seen the first season of The Witcher, Henry Cavill talks about what he had to go through for the bathtub scene where he's sitting in a
Oh
bathtub
yeah, didn't he
without a
have to get
shower.
like extremely dehydrated or something like that?
Yes, yes, he did,
Yeah.
and this is
Yeah.
something that bodybuilders in general do. Obviously, I don't. Henry Cavill's not technically a bodybuilder,
Yeah.
but he had to employ this technique. Is that they dehydrate, which makes the skin shrink and sit tighter to the muscles, making them look bigger. But
Yeah.
like, and it's regulated. They don't just stop drinking water for days, because
Right.
you
Yeah,
freaking
you
die.
die.
Like you pare back on it
Yeah.
to so that you're having very little, like the barest minimum,
Right.
so you can get that shot, so that you're not like swollen and bloated, because like that's what water does,
Right.
because your body is made of water, and
Yeah.
it's like you know it's nice for the shot, for the movie, for the TV show, but it is not practical for the average person. So,
Yeah.
don't get sucked into those things.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm glad you said something about self-discipline, because we're going to talk about that in number 4.
Okay.
Number 4, do not wait to get motivated or rely on someone else to motivate you. The
So
problem with
do
motivation,
not.
right? Don't wait to get motivated.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Mo- Motivation is an emotion, and emotions come and go pretty easily.
Like a
Like people
fart in the
like
wind.
right, like people like, man, I just didn't feel motivated to get to the gym. Well, no, of course you didn't. It was 5 a.m. It doesn't matter whether you're motivated or not. Get out of bed and go do it.
Yeah.
And this is an idea that I know it doesn't, when you hear it, like it doesn't sound like it's groundbreaking, like this is new, but like, some people it's like, oh, I didn't think of it that way. I didn't think of it this way until I heard Jocko Willing talking about it, and he talks about it in his idea of how discipline equals freedom. So he takes it from this aspect. He says, "Don't be motivated. Motivation is an emotion. Emotions are fickle; they come and go. Instead, practice and learn self-discipline, because
Yeah.
self-discipline is what gets you there when you're not motivated.
Right.
Because you're not gonna be motivated all the time. You still have to go do it. So don't wait to get motivated. Do practice and learn self-discipline,
Yeah.
because motivation is not a sustainable long-term like thing to rely on,
Yeah.
because it's emotion and emotions come and go. Because like, it's January, like, man, I'm super motivated to get to the gym because I'm going to change my life. And then February, like, everything hurts and I'm dying. Like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't want to
I'm
do
feeling
that
that right
anymore.
now. Yeah.
Right.
No,
So
me and Anna got a
motivation's not going to
membership.
get you to the gym.
Yeah, for sure. Me and Anna got a membership at our local gym, and we've been working out pretty consistently for about 2 months now. I want to say we started at the beginning of November ish, which the main reason that we got the membership is because they have a little center that watches the kids while you're working out, so we can take them and they can go
Yeah.
play with some friends for an hour and not be stuck. Which, I mean, we've had the most insane weather here in Northwest Arkansas. It was I think it was 78 degrees on Christmas. So we've had just
Criminal.
insane weather. But so the kids haven't been stuck in the house like they normally would be when it's super cold outside. But yeah, we went and so we go over there and exercise. And I mean, it's been beneficial to have that as kind of a secondary motivating factor, because not only is it, okay, I need to get out, I need to go burn some calories, I'm trying to get back in some better shape, all that stuff, but it's also, okay, yeah, the kids want to get out of the house too. Let's kill two birds with one stone and deal with it that way. So
Right.
so yeah, I get it. But yeah, I'm hurting right now. We took about a week and a half off because we got this nasty head cold flu junk that was going around like the week of Christmas, and so obviously we don't want to go give it to anybody else. And we get I go back to the gym and I did arms and chest and all that stuff on Monday. And I got on the rowing machine for 8 minutes, I think, which was 5 minutes longer than I've been on it before. And my shoulders were like my shoulders like in traps in my back and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Killing me. Just killing me. So
That brings me to my third do and don't.
okay.
Don't give up when it gets tough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't give
for
up
sure.
too quickly, right? Because you're gonna have times that you struggle, and more importantly, you're gonna have times that you fail. Do be patient and realize that change is hard. It takes time and consistency, and it's okay to give yourself a little break. Like you can't go out the gate expecting perfection.
Yeah.
Like it's just not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna suck at it first, but you got to suck at it before you can get okay at it.
Yeah.
And then you got to be okay at it before you can be good at it.
Yeah.
And then you got to be good at it before you get to be a little more good at it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you're not going to go
Yeah.
from first day off the couch to benching
Right.
225. Like,
Yeah.
be patient because it's going to be tough. And in the end, it's going to be worth it.
Yeah.
But like, don't expect that perfection out of yourself immediately.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people get discouraged and frustrated that they're not seeing the results that they want in a quick enough time, and I think they're not being realistic with themselves. I
Yeah.
think that they need to give themselves a little more of a break in that.
Yeah.
Which brings me a little bit into my second point. Now we're down to 2 left.
Hey.
Don't go all in immediately. I know this is going to be kind of counterintuitive, but don't go all in immediately.
Yeah.
You know, it's what mom told me. Don't go all in immediately. Actually, no, she didn't say that. Going all in immediately.
Do not go balls deep.
Yes.
Immediately.
Don't go balls deep immediately.
Don't.
This can be discouraging though. Like,
Yeah.
let's say you wake up and you decide, okay, I was looking at like adding some cardio to my life because I think cardio is a 4-letter dirty obscene word, and I don't generally do it. I don't like running. It's not good for me. Like, it's not like an exercise that
Like
is
enjoyable, you mean?
easy,
Yeah.
easy for my body. Like, I know some people that get up, it's like, I want to go running, and I'm like, you're mentally deficient. Yeah, you.
Yeah.
It's like, I love that quote. It's like, start every day with a run outside, and your day is guaranteed to not get any worse.
Yeah. Yeah. Go jump into an ice bath and then run 5 miles. Well, yeah. Duh. No wonder your mornings suck.
I wouldn't mind doing the ice bath, I
Yeah.
think, but forget the run part. So the reason I say don't go all in is I know people try to use buying a lot of expensive equipment as a way to motivate. There's that word
Oh, yeah.
again, or incentivize themselves to
Right.
stick with it.
It's like, well, I have a sunk cost. Yeah.
It doesn't work. It doesn't
Yeah.
work. We all
Yeah.
have had a treadmill that has become a drying rack for our clothes.
Or a Peloton that you're paying a subscription for that you're not using. Or you don't even own it anymore.
Right. That feels really targeted. I'm not sure why. Anyway,
Do you have a Peloton?
I do not have a
Oh, I was going to say, I did not know that about you, Ricky.
I mean, I just assumed you were talking directly to one of our 5 viewers.
No. Yeah. 2 of which are us.
So one of the 3.
This is really just a way for me to give myself advice in the past. Way to go, me.
Yeah, way to go, me.
Yeah.
So a great example of what I would say you should do is you should start small and build up over time. So it gives you the opportunity to kind of try out and figure out, hey, is this thing for me?
Yeah.
You know, I saw a post about this jump roping technique thing, and like he had this jump rope and it came with an app and it tracked like all these things. I was like, that's really cool. Like, maybe that would help me get into jump roping. And then I went and looked it up. It's $200 for
I was going to say, is it like a $1,200 jump rope?
It's stupid.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it has like interchangeable ropes, so they have different weights, which is cool because like you can, you know, find a weight that works well, and then you know you build up over time.
Right.
But it's like, I'm not spending $200 on a jump.
Oh yeah,
rope
no,
that
that's
I might
crazy.
use for a month.
Yeah.
Like if this is something I really want to invest in, then I need to go to Walmart,
Get a
buy a $5,
yeah,
$5 or $10, whatever it
Yeah.
is, the cheapest one they have that I can use with my height, and try that for a month and see whether or not I want to maybe buy a $40 one instead.
Yeah.
You know,
work your way up from there. Yeah.
Right. So
yeah, that's one of the things I don't know if you heard about the government doing away with pennies, but like, yeah, you know, what are we doing with pennies anymore? I was like, okay, what are we doing with dollars anymore? You can't buy anything for $1. Why are we even using that as a mode of currency?
Yeah, no, you can't even.
Let's just get rid of all of the change.
You can't buy anything from $1 at the dollar store anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah,
it's $1.25 free now.
Should $3 general.
Hey,
Yeah.
it's still dollars. It's still
Yeah.
dollars.
Well, yeah. I mean,
All right,
taxes.
and the number one don't. Well, that's a whole nother topic we can get into. You don't trigger me right now. Yeah, I like your shirt. Very bad. Would not recommend. All right, so the number one do and don't for New Year's resolutions is don't make New Year's resolutions. I think it's a bad idea to wait for an arbitrary starting point like a
Yeah.
particular day. If it's something that you have already identified as a needed change in your life and you're willing to take some of these other steps, why wait? Like
Yeah.
just go out and do it.
Yeah.
Because the more you put it off to I'll start with this time, the more likely you are to just not start at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
Instead of making New Year's resolutions, make lifestyle changes and do them as soon as it is practical and reasonable. Like make sure you put your ducks in a row on
Yeah.
it. You're going to be more successful that way.
Yeah.
Don't wait for an arbitrary time. Just go and do it.
Yeah.
I wanted to start journaling more in my personal life, and I was like, all right, tomorrow it starts, and tomorrow it started.
Yeah.
And I've been doing it for several months more regularly, and like with this list, there were times that I failed, and I didn't quit and give up myself. It's like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
We'll pick it back up and keep going. But I really think that people get caught up in this idea of a resolution and like
Yeah.
you know they want to do a diet. Diet. Everyone knows that a diet is a four-letter word, first of all, and the idea of a diet is just something that's temporary,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I'm going to
Instead,
lose all this weight, and then I'm going to give up all the progress that I made and gain all the weight back.
instead, you make a lifestyle change, and you say, okay, if this is what's more healthy for me, then this is how I need to live my life
Yeah.
until I find something that is more healthy or better.
Yeah.
And I think the resolution, that word, and like that, the kind of like the idea that we've built up around it, is is like the idea of a diet. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's viewed as a temporary thing,
Yeah.
and you're gonna quit it at some point. Maybe some of you will be quitting on Quitter's Day this January. I hope not. If you follow my 5 do's and don'ts for New Year's, then maybe you can be successful.
You three other guys don't quit on Quitter's Day. Wait until the next Friday.
Looking at you three.
Yeah.
You know who you are.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. No, I completely agree, and I think those are all great points. That's one of the things that I tried to incentivize myself, because I'm probably on the other end of the spectrum from you, from an exercise and working out perspective, because I've always been more of I like doing cardio. I play basketball usually pretty consistently. I have not played in a while, but the group that I have been playing with is in a school that was basically had a bunch of stuff the night that we typically play basketball. So I have not been able to play in about 2 months, which is how long I've been exercising. But I like running and stuff like that too. I've always been somebody, when I was in high school, I used to run like 4 miles a day just because I like doing it, so but the weightlifting stuff, that was never really my cup of tea. I never was like, oh yeah, I want to get stronger and stronger and stronger. I would love to be able to bench press 250 pounds. I never really cared about that. I was always more of the endurance stuff. So I did push-ups and sit-ups and stuff like that. That's one of the things that, I was thinking about this, of course, right when me and Anna met, which was I think it was the end of 2015. I had kind of just gotten to a point, I had been working in taxes for about 3 years at that point, and my health had just taken a total nosedive. Tax season was just so stressful, and my biggest problem, which it was probably self-inflicted, so to speak, but I would work 12 to 16 hours a day. and so if I'm not working, if I'm taking my lunch break or supper break or whatever, I'm like, okay, I have 30 minutes because I need to get back and finish these last 7 tax returns. So I'm running over to Subway just to grab a sandwich, and Subway is better than some places, but you're still getting way more calories than you think you are. And then I'm drinking 7 Dr. Peppers a day because I need caffeine to stay up until midnight to work every day, and all that stuff. So yeah, in the 3 years after I think I graduated college at about 195, and I'm 6 foot tall, so I was not thin by any stretch, but I wasn't super overweight either. And by the end of that third tax season, I was at 250, and I felt like just straight up garbage. Which not seeing the sun, not getting good sleep. Yeah, all of that stuff. It was just a bad combination of things. So 2015, I was like, yeah, hey, you know what? I'm done with this. I'm gonna make time to, and I had just turned 29, so I was coming up on 30 because I turned 30 in 2016, and I think I lost about 70 pounds that year. So I started in March. And basically just was like, okay, you know what? I'm taking a break at 6 o'clock in the evening, and I'm gonna go exercise in some capacity. I'm gonna do it every day. So I did, as many sets of push-ups as I could do. I just did sets of 20, and I think by the end of the summer I was able to do like 400 push-ups in a day. And then I was walking and running at least 3-4 miles every time I would do it, which was about 3 to 4 times a week. It wasn't every single day, but it was consistent enough, and I got down to about 190 again, which I felt great when I was at that point. And then I was playing basketball. I believe it was in 2016, but it might have been 2017, and I rolled my ankle, and I had torn my ligaments in my left ankle in college. When I had just turned 20, and had issues. It was just a little bit weak. It's not like I have any kind of debilitating pain. I can run on it and not really have any issues as long as my shoes aren't falling apart. But yeah, I tweaked my ankle, and I could not run for about 6 months because it was just that it was sore for a while, and then part of my problem is I'm eating under the assumption that I'm doing a lot of cardio and high calorie burning exercise, and then I stop doing that and start gaining the weight again. So I think when we started exercising again in November, I was around 240, and I think that I probably was closer to 245, and I weighed myself the other day, and I got down to 235 again. So I've lost about 10 pounds, about 10 pounds in 2 months, which some of that comes from the being sick twice in December, but yeah, but still, any progress is progress. So
right.
But no, like just from a perspective of make a goal for yourself, be consistent with it, and make it something that you actually are motivated, incentivized to do. Because if it's not something you care about, you're definitely not going to keep up with it.
Yeah, it's got to fit and make sense with you. Like you're trying to lose some weight, and like I'm doing the opposite. Like for a long time, I wanted to lose weight, and then I realized that my body puts on muscle pretty well, and then my goal became the exact opposite, and I feel better about myself 35, 40 pounds heavier than I was when I started.
Yeah.
So I'm close to 225 now, which is like,
okay.
That's the 225 I think is the heaviest I've ever been, and I look in the mirror and I go, oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm not getting sick as much, and that's the thing, like I customized it to myself, prioritizing a lot of protein in my diet and trying to cook more of my own meals.
That makes an
And
enormous difference, just cooking your own
makes a huge
food.
difference. And you know what? COVID actually did me a huge favor in that we ended up staying home and eating
Creating a habit.
our own
Yeah.
cooked food a lot
Yeah.
more because you didn't go out anymore. Well, that, and we had two kids at that time, and eating
Yeah.
out was a lot more difficult
Oh
and more
yeah, for
expensive
sure.
because inflation went up the bunghole.
Yeah. Yeah. No, for
So,
sure.
but yeah, good luck
Yeah.
to all three of you out there this year in
Yeah.
your lifestyle changes, not your
Yeah.
resolutions, your lifestyle changes.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think that list can apply to. It doesn't have to be just about losing weight or gaining muscle or an exercise or in the gym, but really with anything that you want to achieve to make a change in your life.
Yeah.
So
You know what? I'm going to add number 6 to his list. Quit quitting. If you want to quit something next Friday, that's what you can add.
yeah,
Quit quitting.
No quitters this Quitters Day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Only winners.
Yep. Well, I think that's all we've got. That was your whole list, right?
Yep, yep.
Yeah. So yeah, we talked about our financial goals for the year, which I completely agree with Dick here that the you don't have to wait until the beginning of the year to come up with a financial goal.
Yep.
If you have a great idea to save yourself some money or fix a spot in your finances that you're hemorrhaging money,
Yep.
and it's June, who cares?
Right.
Fix it.
Yeah. Yeah, do it now.
Yeah.
No one,
you want
no
to
one
lose some
never-
weight and it's August? Go ahead, lose some weight.
No one ever regretted starting sooner rather than later.
Exactly. Yep. Yep. So yeah, thanks everybody for stopping by. Hopefully I can iron out some time with one of our special guests to do an interview. We're gonna bring that on hopefully in the next episode or two. And I've got a couple other people that I've got in mind to bring in for some interviews. So hopefully those will be entertaining as well. So yeah,
Sure they will be.
we'll see y'all next week, and keep on keeping on. Nah, I don't
Peace.
like that.
No, we'll workshop it.
Yeah,
We can edit that out.
yeah, exactly.